Colm, are you dead yet?
I'm not. I'm still living. Thankfully, I don't know, but by the tone in your voice, it seems as if you wish death upon me, Stubbsy. How many ways do you wish death upon me?
Probably 101.
That seems like a nice round number. But it's funny you should mention that, right? Because I've been playing a little bit of a game called 101 Ways to Die. I suppose first, do you know much about 101 Ways to Die?
Not a clue. You told me the title about 20 minutes ago, and that's the first I heard of it.
Right, okay, there's a little bit of, you let the people see a little bit behind the curtain, but you don't pull it all the way back, Stubbsy. But, so this is basically a game coming to Steam. It's kind of very reminiscent of, I suppose, Lemmings, or... I was going to compare it to Worms. No, Lemmings is the kind of the best kind of comparison. Or if you remember, I think it was last year, there was a game that came out called Flockers, which was... Oh no, was it Flockers?
Yeah, Flockers was the Lemmings type thing, I think.
Yeah. Was it definitely? Fuck,
I don't know. I know.
I'm not...
Team 17 had a game, and I'm fairly sure Flockers was a Team 17 game.
You're right. Was it the one with the sheep?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I probably should have looked this up beforehand. Anyway, so yeah, it's very much along the lines of... Yes, it is. I was dead right. Anyway, it's along those lines where you are... Well, I suppose you're kind of... The story of it is, right, there's this professor called Professor Splattenfeuder, right? And he has this kind of cooking recipe kind of book of 101 Ways to Die. The book, under certain circumstances, just rips apart, and all these 101 Ways to Die, it's all ruined, and the professor is like, oh, this is terrible. Then you come on the scene and he's like, right, I need you to figure out all the recipes for 101 Ways to Die. So what I mean by recipes is basically you start off the game, you're not knowing what these 101 Ways to Die are, basically. And each level, similar to Lemmings or a Flockers, you have these little kind of minions that kind of pop out, and they'll just be kind of like, they're on a path that to get to the end goal, where they get like sucked into a little tube or something, and they'll kind of go through hell and high water to get to this. So you must naturally put kind of obstacles in their way to kill them. But the way how variety is introduced is certain objects will be in certain levels and they won't be in other ones, which I'll get onto. But first of all, you're kind of given a certain number of items to use on these minions to kill them, basically. So you'll be given like mines, which when they stand in close proximity, they'll just blow up. You're given these kind of bounce pads, which when they stand on, you can set where they'll kind of go to. So you could then, so for instance, right, so one of these lads could stand on a bounce pad. They could go flying into the air, and they could, like one of the levels that I came across, basically he went flying into the air, then he was brought up into like this kind of fan type thing, and that blew him into spikes that were attached to the wall. It's all that kind of stuff where your aim is to... Like, your aim is essentially to finish the level, but it's very mobile game-like in that it works off of a star system. So the more kind of combos you do, so the more items you use to kill a certain one of these lads, then you get a higher score, you get more stars, therefore opening up more levels, I suppose. Judging by your silence, Stubbsy, I'm guessing it doesn't intrigue you all that much.
I mean, it's probably not something that I would play, because I don't really like Lemmings anyway.
Right, okay. But to be fair, right, again, in a preview sense, my time with it, because like you, I mean, they're right, but they wouldn't exactly be the stuff that I would gravitate towards. But I must say, there are some kind of fun little ways to kill these little guys, and the way you can kind of use your items, use things around the environment. I don't know. It keeps things pretty fresh, and kind of depending on how many, because I'm not actually sure how many levels are in the finished game.
Surely there's going to be 101.
Well, you see, you would think that, right? But it's not a case of like each level is a different way to kill these characters. Like I mean, you could actually come across 2 different ways to kill someone in the one level. And again, it's not, finishing a level isn't dependent on doing these extravagant kind of kills. You know, you can just kill them by like just having them stand on a mine or something like that.
Right, so is the way that you win the game by completing all the levels, or is it by finding 101 ways to die?
I mean, I suppose it's essentially by completing all the levels. However, if you have 2 guys in the level, like I'm trying to think, like one I did basically, right? So you have 2 characters, they walk down a little slope, and there's a goal kind of just a few steps away, right? However, I think I had 2 mines and 1 kind of, I suppose for lack of a better term, it was like gunge, kind of slime, I think the game called it. And with slime, characters can they'll basically slip on it, and the mines, obviously I told you what that does. However, opposite where the little slope is, there's a swinging, what would I call it, a barrel of spikes kind of thing. When I first did this level, I put the slime where I kind of on the slope and put a mine on the slime. One of the characters walked onto the slime, slipped, the mine blew him kind of across the way, and he got impaled on the spikes. The second guy, however, just went down the slope, and I had placed my second mine kind of just before the goal, which blew him up into spikes, and he was impaled on him. So I got 1 star. I think it was 1 star for that level first off. But then when I tried to progress into more levels, I couldn't do it, so I had to go back, and I was like, right, which one can I try again? I tried that one, and what I did this time was I put the slime where I did, and the mine on top of the slime, and then put another mine on top of that slime. So the first guy did what he did the first time, and the second guy then slid on the slime, the mine blew him over to the barrel of spikes, and he got impaled on the spikes as well, therefore leading to 3 stars, and I could progress. So as I say, it has that kind of mobile mentality. I mean, look, let's call a spade a small shovel. It seems like a bit of a throwaway, kind of. As I say, I keep comparing it to a mobile game, but it is very much like that. I don't believe it's coming to mobile, but it has that kind of air about it, where, as I say, it is a little bit kind of throwaway and whatnot. But it's alright, Stubbsy, alright? It's okay.
Should have backed the God is a Geek Patreon.